shares about the career via business and freelancing on his YouTube videos. He also talk about the how you can make a career out of your passion also. And most important thing, he is a video editor. He has onboarded ton of clients. And if you want to watch a video, why you should watch this podcast till the end? Because if you want to make impact on yourself and on other people, then please watch this video till the end and please subscribe to his video. I've given the video link in his description. So over to you. And he's a freelance video editor and he has onboarded ton of clients and his client is having no problem related to it and the clients are fully satisfied with his work. So over to you, Prathamesh.
Hi everyone, this is Prathamesh Pisal in front of you. I am a second year of student of MBA. I do freelancing. I'm a freelance video editor. I got inbound and outbound clients as well. We'll be talking about that. And I am a content creator as well. I share whatever experiences I'm getting by this freelancing experience and the learnings that I'm getting along the way. So that I all share on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's all about me.
So basically, you are talking about inbound and outbound clients. How did you got about the inbound and outbound clients?
So before starting that, let's back to 2020 when I started all these things. So I was in a 12th. That point of time, one of my friends just came to me and he just tell that, okay, Prathamesh, we have got an opportunity for the company called Hexaware. So he asked me for the resume. I made the resume and I just got my first job at the age of 17. So at that particular point of time they are asking for the documentation, and as a legal authority they are not allowed to hire someone who is in a 17-year-old. So they just told me that you are not eligible. So I said I want to get hired in this company and I'm so ambitious to do this work. Basically that was a data entry job, but I'm so fascinating about the corporate job, so I wanted to get into that. I was just 17 and I just made a jugaad and got a minor PAN card so that I will get into that company. So I got into that company, and after I joined that company, in next 4 days, COVID happened and we all just got locked down. And that was the 4 day job story that I had. And when I got into that company, I feel that okay, I have to work on myself because I'm not able to cope up with the people around me, and I should create a personality that can inspire people. And that was the whole idea started. Then I got into a job as a customer service executive, and there I got a realization about communication. I was so terrible at communication. I used to get call from Bangalore and Hyderabad, and those people only know their native language and English language. Now if I want to deal with them, I should know about English, but I was terrible that particular point of time. From that day till the this particular point of time I'm recording this podcast, I'm constantly looking for the new words. I'm constantly looking for how I can be better at communication. Then I got into this digital marketing and freelancing era where I think that okay, video editing is one of the things that just fascinating me a lot. So I started learning about video editing in 2022, and in last 2 3 years I just got a lot of experience in that. I started onboarding clients from 2023. What I had done is basically my first client, the story behind that, I started just cold reaching out to people. I sent around 80 emails. All of those are so personalized, and one of the client just respond me, and he's from Hyderabad. He just started their YouTube channel and he wants someone who can work with him for the long run. And I just show my credibility, my skills, and the promise that I will be with you long term. And he are just looking for the relationship. He is not someone who just wanted to get a one video edit. He are looking for someone who can work with him for the longer purpose. And that's how I got my first client. And that is the story of my outbound client. After when I got into LinkedIn, when I started content creation, and I guess I have got 800 followers that particular point of time, when one of the company founder reached out to me who was saying that okay, Prathamesh, I saw your profile. I think you are the right guy to work with me. I have got this problem about content marketing. I am looking for someone who can help me in content creation, content marketing. and the whole marketing strategy for my company. So that's how he just reached out to me. He just sent it to number me, and I contacted him, and that's how I got my first inbound clients due to content creation. Yes.
Formula. So one is
Okay.
the skill that you learn that is very high in demand. Video editing and freelancing, social media marketing skills are always high in demand. And now AI also has come into the picture.
Yeah.
And you just learned the skills so that you became best at it. So people hired you and you became irreplaceable.
Right. Right. That is the one thing that everyone should understand, I think. Until and unless you are not irreplaceable, there are a lot of people in queue who can just replace you.
Hmm.
And you should not have only video editing. There are a lot of plenty plethora of video editors are there, but what that X factor that you have that those people don't have, and that is about the soft skills that
Hmm.
you will learn along the way. That is the negotiation skills, the sales skills that you can learn to be someone who just become a package solution for someone. Let's say someone is there who want to get a video edit, but they also want to know about how I can get that audience by my content. But if you understand how people work, how hooks work, how content marketing works, you can package them the solution of editing the video, strategize that video, and give them a plan so that they will get the base of audience for their businesses. That's the most important thing.
Okay, so basically, how did you learn about the video editing and any software you use?
So video editing is just a skill that it came in my way and I have to learn it because I started content creation and I wanted to the first objective for starting this content creation is basically I wanted to improve my communication skill. This is the selfish reason that I had to started this content creation things. I wanted to improve my specifically English communication skills, and then I started content creation. Then along the way I found this problem that if I want to create videos, I should learn how to edit videos, and to edit videos I have to look for the industry software. So I just started watching the playlist on YouTube about Adobe Premiere Pro. So I started learning editing from this complex software itself, and I learned it. It took me around 6 months to get into a place where I can edit engaging videos. And after 1 year of working on Adobe Premiere Pro, I started onboarding clients and increasing their views as well.
Okay, so when you just got into outbound and inbound, so you just created an offer. Without an offer, the audience won't come to you. The your target audience won't come to you. So you
Right.
started with offer and with a target audience.
Yeah, exactly.
So who was your target audience first?
Okay, now the target audience that I have right now are the different thing, but let me tell you when I started doing it, when I got my first client. So that particular point of time I have this ICP, ideal client persona,
Hmm.
someone who started his channel just now, and he wanted to get growth by just creating videos, and who has a payment ability. I mean, they can pay me a lot, and they wanted to get a growth because, and someone who has already has the the audience on other social media platforms. So let me tell you about my client. He is the Microsoft employee, and he got a job recently, and he has a big audience on LinkedIn. He, I guess, have 2.5 lakhs of audience on LinkedIn. So he wanted to get the presence on YouTube as well, so he started from scratch. So he don't know about how to record the videos, what content should be get out, how to edit videos and all these things. So at that particular point of time I was looking for someone who are just newly started, who has the spending power as well, and someone who want to get presence on YouTube. So that was the three parameters that I look in every client that I was looking that particular point of time. Yeah,
Basically, so the key takeaway from here we need to see is that we need to mention the problem, we need to mention a solution.
exactly.
because
You have to think about the ICP. What is your ideal client persona? Where he is? What is the key, pain points that he has, and what is the aspiration of that client? So
hmm,
if you can define these three parameters, I mean, you can add more parameters as well, but you should know about your ICP. You should know in and out about your customer. Just like if you're selling any product, you also have to know, if you're in a service business like freelancing, you should know what's the problem they are facing. And that is where you can get more idea about what should be my pitch for them, right? The pitching idea will only come if you know the pain points.
definitely. And your pain point is gonna come through ideal customer persona. Means
Yeah.
researching. Researching plays an important role.
Yes.
So when you jumped into outbound, so I just want to ask you that every day how much message you would be sending. That yes, today I need to send this much of messages, this much of messages.
Because I was doing very hard research on that. I want to know about that clay in and out, so I was just stalking them on all social media platforms. Suppose I found a guy on Instagram, and that guy is fitting on my ICP. He is just satisfying all the ticks that I have in my ICP parameters. So what I do, I just stalk him on all social media platforms. I started gathering the information about what is his name, where is coming from, what is his spending power, why even they wanted to start, social media, and all these things. And when they get that point where I can just know about all the things about him, then I started crafting the mail. Crafting mail, you need the information of that client in and out, and that you can only get by their social media, by stalking their social media, while getting the information from their profile. So that's how you can get that information. And after getting information, you should prepare a template, and you have to put the things in that. I was has a personal template where I just talking, okay, hi, this is Prathamesh. I saw your this video. These are the things that I wanted to say with you, and these are the things we can improve together. And I think you should work on this. And this is my portfolio. That is how I can help you. And this was the template, and this is my contact and contact details. And I just send around 12 to 15 emails every single day, and
How
all
much
of
time would
those
it
are super
take?
personalized.
How much time it would take?
I mean, I spend around 6 to 7 hours to just sending emails, by keeping all the important tasks aside. I'm just looking on that, because getting outbound kills is so hard, because the conversion rate is so low, first of all, and the responding rate as well is so low. So it is so hard to do outbounding, and I will not recommend to do outbounding, client hunting.
Okay, so one of the video I was listening. Okay, so it was about outbound. So basically I get you as a client, Prathamesh. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, and my service is little bit of 10,000. Okay, and if you like my work, if you recommend to other people, I will give you a service for 8,000.
Yeah,
I'm
if
just
the client is referring you, you should give the discounts,
yeah, but
because
in
he's helping you to get more business.
yeah. So, but in offer letter, we should be mentioning now that yes, if you're getting client for us, okay, if you're loving our work, first of all, if you're loving our work, if you refer a client to us, if our service is for 10,000, I will give you 8,000 if you refer one client for us.
Yeah, so this is one of the thing. Yeah, you can ask for the reference, but before that you should have the portfolio to show, and you have to make that first client first happy.
Yeah,
If that
after
client
that.
is happy, then he will, you know try to convince him to get one more client for you.
Mm,
But if they are satisfied,
mm,
your job is to build the relation. It's not just a business relation. You should also ask about the other things. How are you feeling? You are burning out or not, and all these things. You have to build the relationships with them.
mm,
You have to help as much you can. Even let's say I'm giving a video editing service to you. Okay, now that client is also facing problem for creating thumbnails. So if I have someone in my network, I can refer them. Okay, this is the guy I know who create a great thumbnail design. So if you can connect with him, he will help you. So that is how you also can help refer for the services as well. It's not like client is referring you to another client. you should also help him to solve their all the problems, become
All
the one
other
stop
major,
solution for them.
yeah, all the other major problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So one more thing I need to ask you is that there are if there's any free video editing tools or not, because see, a board is a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
Who's just starting with scratch? Who's just starting from scratch onward?
So you can use CapCut as well, which is offering similar, functionalities and the basic elemental functionality that every editing software should have. CapCut can provide you. Even you can go with the DaVinci Resolve if you are a beginner. But you should give a try and just test that, okay, if I get the satisfaction by this work, because passion is so important. After learning editing for the next whole 1 year, I didn't make anything because I was just so passionate about to get more engaging videos edit. I was not looking for client at all. But after some point of time, I started feeling that, okay, my edit can provide value to someone and I should approach someone to solve someone's problem.
Okay, okay.
You have to be first confident about your skill set. You have to ask feedbacks to your friends. To You can also post your work online. People also can give you feedback. You should seek for the feedback, so that you will get to know, okay, where you are, and even you can provide a value to client or not.
Okay, so in content creation, consistency is the major problem, and feeling burnout is these two are the major problem. Okay, we are creating content consistency, but there's a burnout, major burnout. So how we can stay away from it?
Burnout will only come, I mean, stress, burnout, and all these things only come when you know that you can do that thing, but you are just avoiding that thing. I mean, you are procrastinating. Stress is only come when you know I can do that thing, but just because procrastination and all these things, I can't be able to do. And just because that stress will come. Now, if you're talking about burnout, burnout is will only come when you don't like that topic. I mean, if you are in something niche, let's say someone is said you, okay, finance is the most high paying niche, you should create content about finance. But after some point of time, it's not your speciality, first of all, and you are just doing to sake of doing. You don't have any passion, you don't like that topic at all, still you are creating that things. So because of that, I feel burnout will come. But if you like the topic to share with people, you will not feel burnout. I mean, you can just sitting on any social gathering and you can learn something new. You can just type it down and post it on LinkedIn if you love that topic. It's not just about the video content. You can post Instagram reels as well, you can post LinkedIn text as well. But content creation is will not feel burnout. Consistency is important, I know that. But even if you're posting 4 pieces of content in a week, that is also fine. But look for that one thing which you like most, which you don't feel burnout, and which is something which you can do even if you're not getting paid for that.
Okay, so what is your factor? So basically, I think so you're in YouTube also or on, and in LinkedIn both.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Instagram as well. It is
Okay,
so overwhelming to be consistent on all this platform, but I'm trying to cope up with all that.
so what are your key factors to create a engaging content on these three platforms?
Creating content on all the platforms are different things. I mean, if you are, let's say, I got an idea about something. I got a list of content about communication, how I can improve communication. This is one of the content piece. Okay, so I use testing method. So what I do, if I got an idea, I just write it down on X, on Twitter, and just post it there. And if that Twitter thread or that tweet just exploit, I mean, it just perform good, I can just post it on LinkedIn. And if the same content is also working on LinkedIn, I started making reels about it and create a YouTube video as well. So you need that one idea first, and you have to mold your content according to the platform that you have. Okay, so whatever content idea you have. Let's say you have the content idea for, as you asked me the question, how to do content creation. Okay, so you have some tips for this problem, so you start writing about it on LinkedIn. You will start expand that idea. I mean, not only tips and tips, you can give the suggestions as well. You can give what are the mistakes that people making while they are creating content and all. So you can expand on that idea and mold your ideas for different platform to create content all the platform together. And I mean, I'm also doing the same thing. If I found some idea, if I learn somewhere, it's not about I'm learning on social media, on my classes, wherever I'm getting experience, the incident that happened with me with client, and whatever I'm learning, I just put that idea on one social media platform and just test that idea how it works, and just mold it for all the social media platform.
Okay, basically, can you tell me a success story of inbound leads? Because inbound lead is very difficult.
All you have to do is, okay, so if I'm talking about inbound clients, I have made a separate video about how to get your first client faster than ever. So in that, I basically explain the same thing that I'm gonna be telling you today. You have to do cold reach out if you want to get outbound clients, but for inbound clients, you have to do content creation. I knew that I should be on LinkedIn, and my ideal client persona is also hanging on LinkedIn, so that will be clash, right? So you have to be discoverable, and because of that, content in creation is so important. I think inbound client you will not get until and unless you don't have personal brand. And to create personal brand, you should have a profile, you should post content every single day, you should talk about your expertise, you should give some testimonials as well. I mean, you can tell the case studies as well, what happened with your previous clients, how they got results from your services and all. That all you can post on social media. Someone who needs that will definitely discover you, and they will try to reach out to you. So what happened, I started posting about video editing tips. I mean, what are the content creation tips you should have? And I mean, content marketing. Suppose there is a business, a product based business is there. So that product based business, what they should do in terms of social media to get more sales. So I was just talked about that. And the company that reached out to me was a AR/VR company, augmented reality and virtual reality. So they have got a product for the welding industry. So they have made the VR products for the welding industry, and now their basically business is B2B business. Now they were asking me what should I do on social media so that I will get more clients in B2B, and that was, I just given them the whole strategy about that. And that's how I found my first inbound clients, just because of LinkedIn and content creation.
Okay, so in content creation, when you are just making a content, especially for inbound, you need to frame a CTA. Personalized CTA is very important.
Yeah.
Hmm. So how should we frame a CTA? Call to
Okay.
action.
Yeah, I found, I got your point. To create a CTA for inbound client, let's say you reached out to me and you are just giving me some problem statements. Okay, Prathamesh, I have this problem, and I found your profile, and I feel you are the guy who can just help me in that. Now, to create offer, you should educate your client first. That is the first step you should do. Now, he will ask you for the final solution, but you should educate them what are the steps you should take to get that end goal, and why these steps you should take. Because until and unless you are not educating them about the steps, they will feel like, okay, these are the steps are not required, I want the final output. But they don't know that in terms of social media and all, patience is the most important thing, and they want the instant result because they are not aware about it. You have to make them aware that, okay, we should at least post around 6 months to 1 year continuously, and I will be offering this package. These are my deliverables for the month, and for the next year this is the plan. So if you can educate them, they will be agree on your point, and at the end you should deliver the result as well. So that is how.
So yesterday I was just watching a video
Okay.
related to LinkedIn, Matt Gray. So what he said that make sure that people repost your content. So your personal brand is gonna grow there, and
Yeah.
make sure that you're not putting the AI photo.
Right. uh, Authenticity is most important thing. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you have to be authentic. It's not about, okay, you are ghosting someone by just, putting out the AI images and
Hmm.
the copy pasted AI content. Even content also was not authentic. That is also you writing down with the help of chat gpt on. Now these people are doing it to just sake of doing it. They are not, it is not personal brand at all. What is personal brand is basically the characteristics of people that you are so consistent about. I mean, if you have one belief, I have this belief that skill is most important than the degree. So if I am being consistent on the internet about this idea, if I am talking around it, i I will be have a personal brand that, okay, Prathamesh is believes that skill is most important than degree. Then it's a brand. Now whoever follow this ideology become my follower. So they follow this ideology. That's why they want to follow this creator.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing, I was just understanding the video. So he told me that make sure in LinkedIn you are not scheduling any content because people don't love scheduling content.
Yeah, makes sense. Scheduling content, because yeah, this is one of the feature that given by that platform. It's fine. But before you post your things, you should also give engagement. If you're not giving engagement, you will not get engagement. If you are just scheduling your post at 5:30 and you might be busy on something, your post will be get automatically posted on your social media. But because you have not engaged with your LinkedIn followers half an hour before you are posting your post, you will not get the engagement. That is how it works.
Okay. That totally. And one more thing, he just told that you can grow your account if your hook is very strong. Make sure that your hook is having a bold statement.
There are multiple tips for having a hook. I mean, you can say controversial words as well. You can say something bold, as you told me, but you can also say something relatable. I mean, it should, like, people should amaze why this line has been written here on this social media platform, because it's a day to day line. Until and unless you are not becoming the human on the platform, human will not connect with you. So getting hooks is something which is so relatable, which is happen with your ideal audience every single day. And you should use some complementary statements as well. I mean, if you're writing a positive statement on your first line, you should say something negative at the second line. And then people might be get curious about why this second statement is negative, and they will just press on that see more button. So there are multiple tips. You have to mold your hook according to the content that you have as a content body.
So you are a freelancer video editor. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, not freelancer, video editor basically. So there are ton of skills. A video editor is there, but there are sub skills on it. There's A roll, B roll, sound designing. So how we can stand out if we need to focus on the specific skills? But video editing is the main skill, but the sub skills are also there. So what are those sub skills we need to focus that we can stand out from other competitors?
Exactly. Storytelling. Now, storytelling is one of the skill that you should implement in your editing, because editing is not something that you are using that fancy transitions and you will be having that fast pacing sound effects and all. It's not editing at all. Editing, that is basically you are giving a experience by your video. So you have to think as an editor how I can provide an experience to my viewer by my editing, s- that they will feel some emotional journey. They should feel some emotional journey. I mean, let's say you have got a video. Let's say you have got an intro for the podcast. If you are not changing the emotions of people consistently for every 4 to 5 seconds, that intro will not be engaging. For example, uh, Raj Shaman is figuring out podcasts. So if you saw that podcast, they use or they create their intro in a such a way, just like a movie trailer. every 5 seconds they provoke something new emotion. I mean, sometimes there will be a happy emotion where they are placing that background music that way, they are using the SFX that way. And when that guest is making any kind of bold statement, so they just change the whole pacing of that video, they just change the whole emotion of that video. People will not remember you by your words, people will only remember you when you make them something feel,
Yeah.
and that is what important.
Okay. Yes. But see, whenever we are doing a scripting also, video editing is storytelling is there. But whenever why we get attracted. Okay, so there's two videos. Okay, one video is that just the people is just giving the exam so video script without any example, without any story. But there is a second video that people are giving example with a storytelling, with a case study. So that's why the people are attracted by that storytelling. Can you just mention the reason why?
Because story is basically driving the whole world, and it just motivate or inspire someone to do something. So if you want your audience should take some action after watching your content, and if you really want to create impact on their lives, you should use story, you should relate the things to your own personal experiences, what happened with you about this topic, you should share with your audience. I mean, there is, as I told you, humans are a emotional animals and they want a predictability, they want to be get engaged, they are constantly making the predictions, okay, after this will happen, or after this will happen. But if you don't have any story in your content, your content is just a monotonous content which is constant all the time, people, I mean, people will not what will happen, they will not predict what will happen, and they will just lose their attention. To keep people attention on your videos, you have to, as I told you, you have to change the emotions. And for changing emotions, you should know about what are the factors that's affecting to change the emotions. So there are two kind of cocktail, okay, one's first is angel cocktail and another one is devil cocktail. Now angel cocktail is a group of hormones which help us to feel bond with another human, which help us to be happy, which help us to make us laugh. The second one is the devil cocktail, because you should know what not to do so that you will be more clear what to do. So devil cocktail is something that you should not do with your audience and that you never want to make feel your audience. So devil cocktail is a group of two cocktail, adrenaline and cortisol. These are the two hormones which are responsible for the anxiousness. I mean, you will get anxious when it releases in your body, you will feel angry, and these are the hormones that will just irritate us. So you should know what should not to do before you what you should know what to do. Now these are the hormones that you should keep in your mind whenever you are telling story to people, right? So let's say you have something emotional story, the experience that you had, and you want to connect it, you want to connect with people, so you can use the oxytocin. Now what happens, we all are so bad at storytelling. Why we are bad at storytelling? Because we don't have stories to tell. Why do we don't have stories to tell? Because we lack the clarity. We just don't know which story where to tell to grab the attention, to create the impact. And if you know guys, there is a lot of incidents happens in our lives, right? I mean, there is a lot of interesting plots, climax, those unexpected moments that come to our life, and we just tackle it with our Indian jugadu mind. So we have to think about it, that how we can penetrate story in our content so that people will feel the bond with us. So you should know which story where to tell. For that, as I told you before, these are the two cocktails, and you have to just write down all the characteristics of each hormone, and you have to think that what are the interesting incidents that happen in your lives, and you have to just categorize them. Let's say there is an incident which can make people laugh, so you can put that story, that incident, into the endorphin hormone. Then something which happened where people can will give you empathy, people can will feel about your emotions in that incident, so you can get that incident and put into the oxytocin. And that is how you have to just categorize all the incidents that happen in your life, so that you will be having the control. You can influence people by just telling story, and you pretty much aware about which story where to tell. That is how you can do storytelling.
Okay, so how did you? So when you were just starting out, or now you're experienced. So how did you price at the beginning, and now when you're a little bit of experience? So how they should be pricing their video editing or any freelancing services?
Honestly, guys, when I starting out, 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 was so big for me. And if someone is offering me, like, I can give anything, heart and soul and everything to that guy to, get that project done. So I used to work 18 hours for one edit to get just 5 to 6,000 rupees. But as I got experience, and as I got to know about the multiple things about how to charge for your services, I found this interesting idea about charge on value base. Now, whenever your client have requirement for video editing or the whole content marketing stuff, so you have to charge them on value base. You should think, okay, if I am doing this particular project, if I am getting the results that I'm telling to that client, what will be the profits that that client will get after my services. So if the client is making 100 rupees out of your services, you should charge them on a percentage base. You can say that, okay, I will charge 12 to 15% for this whole project, as whatever we are running. I mean, if I'm not able to get you results, I will not get paid anything. But if I'm getting the results, 15% I will charge. So if someone is making, let's say, 1 lakh rupees for that particular project, so you can easily ask 15,000 rupees. If someone is making 50 lakhs, so you can ask them on a percentage basis. So that is the idea, charging on value basis.
Okay, so this is a little bit scary question. Okay, so I just hired you as a video editor. Okay, and
Okay.
you told so you told me that when I'm gonna upload the video, so how much audience is gonna come, I will be charging you. Okay, but what if I just switch off your phone and run away?
I mean, can you please come again?
So what happened? Just think. Okay, I hired you as a video editor. Okay,
Okay.
uh so you told me that I want to give you on a revenue basis.
Okay.
So for example, I'm earning 50,000, so you will be getting a 10% of it.
Right.
But what if I got the money and I just blocked you off? I just switched off my phone and I just ran away. Okay.
Okay. So for that, what you can do, basically, you should have contract first. Whenever you are having contract with, I mean, you are providing services on a revenue basis, you should have a contract. You should mention these things that, okay, these are the percentage I will be charging if this person is earning this much. And even starting on the project, you can ask for the advance payment as well. You can ask
Yeah.
them on a revenue basis as well. Let's say we all estimated that, okay, after this project you will be making 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so you can ask them for the upfront advance payment. So if that 1 lakh rupees earning, you will, let's say, your suppose client will not earn that 1 lakh rupees by your services, you can give those advance payment, repay, you can repay it, right? So you should ask for the advance payment, and then you can start to work if you are super confident about your services.
Yeah. But yes. So exactly what happened. So advance is very important, but advance is that you just gave your value into that services. The result was not there, but you can keep the advance out of for yourself. No.
You can keep that advance, because you can't keep that advance if you already told them, if you're not making 1 lakh rupees, I will be not making anything. Because most of the client will not agree that you are charging for the percentage basis until and unless you are super confident. So what happens, it's just like we pay to the doctors and our patient dies but operation gets successful. So what is the logic behind that? I mean, doctor, you know work on that patient so hardly, but still he not able to save him. Still we have to pay to doctors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But right, just like that, if you are super confident that after my services you will be making 1 lakh rupees, then you can only ask for the percentage basis. or else clients will can give you only one time fee.
Yeah. So actually, charge in contract also there are people also saying that client, uh, especially the working hour is from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. But the client called actually on 11 p.m. So should we mention in the contract that yes, just calling time is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, you can mention that thing, but you have to understand this thing very clearly. Freelancing is not a job that you are doing from 9 to 5. It's a business that you are running, right? You are a self-employed now. Even that is fine. Even you are doing freelancing, it means you are a service provider. So as a service provider, you have to be available for 24 by 7 for that client if there is a something genuine problem to them,
Okay.
if something a revenue harm will be there, if you are not responding for their calls or the changes that they are asking for, if there is any monetary loss will be there, you should respond to them. Because at the end you are a business owner, you are working, you are consciously take the decision that I will do freelancing, I will be a self-employed guy, I'll be the I will be the boss of my own self. So you have to be available 24 by 7, and you have to make sure that your service will have a seamless experience. They should not get any trouble while dealing with you, or until because of that what will happen, then you will just break their trust, you will just lost that relationship, and they will not refer to the another client. If you are providing them a service 24 by 7, they will be happy by your service, and they would want to recommend to their other friends or the network who also struggling with that problem.
Okay. So how can we scale the industry? So what tools and resources we should look on if we want to scale our industry?
If we want to what?
Scale our industry business, or if we need to expand our business basically.
Okay, so as a freelancer, if you're looking for to start an agency, there is a lot of soft skills that you have to add in your skill stack.
Okay.
So skill stack is so important. Just be the video editor will not help you any other way. Even if you are only a solo freelancer, will
Mhm.
having that only video editing skill will not help you to get more projects, will not help you to get more work. You have to add some stack of soft skills which
Mhm.
needs to be there if you want to start at an agency.
Okay.
So let's say if I want to convert from being a freelancer to start an agency, this will be my skill stack. First of all, I should know about video editing in and out. Then after that, I should know about what is negotiation is. Then after that, I also have to know what is sales. And that is how you have to stack multiple skills together to become a deadly combination of someone who can meant for millions and millions of dollar and just create a agency. You should also know about how to hire people. You should also know about how fire wrong clients as well. It's not just about how to get clients, you should also know which client to fire as well. There are some clients who will just take your mind, who will just drain your all the energy of yours as well, and as your teams as well. They are constantly want revisions and all. So you should identify who are the wrong clients, and you should fire them then and there. You
Okay.
should not wait for that. Hiring, communication, sales, negotiation, there are multiple skills that you should need if you want to start business. I mean, you are asking for making your business big, and you could not do all the things together, because you are as a human being has got only 24 hours, and you can only work for 18 to 12 hours. So if you are getting clients out of your personal brand, you're out of your referrals, you are getting more and more clients, but you have got a limited time. Some point of time you will start feeling that you cannot do all the things together, you need a help. And that's how you will start joining more partners in your company, joining more employees in your company, and that is how you can grow your business. One person can't do anything and will not go for the long run.
Okay. So as you talked that communication and negotiation and sales are very important. So
Yes,
how can we learn the skills? Basically, how we can master those things.
I will share it here as well, but I just made a video on that, and that will
Okay,
be live on, I mean, in 2 days. But still, for your audience, I will tell you.
just in small points, three,
Yeah,
4 points.
definitely. So, if you want to learn about negotiation, let's say you have got a client and he are asking for the prices that you have. Okay, so by just telling prices, that client will say, okay, these are so expensive prices, I mean, you should not charge this much for this small amount of work. So you should not neglect their statement that this prices is so high. Instead of that, what you have to do, you have to strong on that problem and be soft on that person. You should show that empathy to the client, that and you should also educate them why these prices are so high, why I'm charging this much, and what are the ROI that you will get after spending this much on me. So you have to negotiate in that way. The second thing is, you should be more assertive, you should be more confident whenever you have negotiation. You should have that firm smile on your face, pull back your shoulders, and have that firm handshake as well. And while negotiating, you can also use some anchor effect. What is anchor effect? Basically, let's say you are selling me something, okay, and you just put the price of 30 rupees of a book. So if I'm telling you this is the 30 rupees of book, you will be started negotiating then from 25 or 20, but you will not go below 15, because it's not making sense at all. So by telling the prices first, you can anchor that price, and you can hold that conversation and negotiate that conversation in your end.
Okay,
And now if I'm talking about sales, sales is basically, you have to first ask them this question, that even these services they need or not. You have to define their why by your whole self. You have to tell them why you're working with me, and what are the X factors that I have that you will not get in a market. You
okay,
should ask them about what are their pain points and how you can solve them. Selling is something that it should be win-win situation. It should not that, okay, you are just selling for the sake of selling. It should be win-win situation for them after getting your services. So you have to educate them, you have to tell them, okay, these are the how this is the time that you it will require to get the result, and this is the price that it will cost if you want to get this result.
okay. One more thing, coming to the end of the podcast. So I just saw your communication is so good. So how did you make your communication so strong? As you told that you were uploading YouTube video, through YouTube video, communication became strong. Your English became strong.
Yeah. Now there is a lot of things to improve your communication. It's not like a overnight success. I mean, I would not even say it as a success, but
Hmm.
I started getting fluent in English just because I am practicing it a lot.
Hmm.
This is the one of the force. I mean, my YouTube channel is one of the force which is forcing me to speak in that language every single day, because I'm recording that videos in English.
Hmm.
I got this realization moment back then, as I told you, when I was in my customer service
Hmm.
executive job. Like, my TL used to shout on me. My colleagues and peers are getting hitting their targets, and here I am, like, I can't even solve a basic problem of a company. I mean, the customer that I have, who is already used the service of ours. So just because that realization moment, I started working on myself from last 2 years till the time this minute. I'm also looking for that new words. I'm also started, I just always look for to be better at communication. So what you have to do basically, in India, what happens whenever learning any skills, we are so afraid to making mistakes. We not get that platform where we can freely make mistakes and learn from them. So what happens in India, if someone is saying that you should learn English language, they are not able to find the people whom with they can make mistakes. So what you can do, you can just go out there, ask for the friends who are also desirable to learn this language, and create a group of 3 or 4 people, and create that as a platform. So what I mean by platform, you 4 guys are making mistakes with each other, and you are allowing each other to make mistakes and learn from that. So getting that platform is super important. So you can also use some of the apps as well online. There are multiple Play Store apps which can just connect you internationally, where you can talk with people. Those people also are so interested in speaking English, they also wanted to learn. So that's how you can also make friends online, where you can learn that language. You can also watch some movies, podcast, songs, and just try to observe that how they are just expressing their particular emotions with this statement, and you should try that expression, I mean that emotion, with that statement. There are multiple movies that you can watch, and you can relate with that. And after that, you should also go to group of people and start sparking conversations. If you're not sparking conversation, nobody are interested to talk with you, right? So if you know this person is better than me in English language, you can just go there and spark conversation. If that guy will started talking with you, you also start talking with him. And that is how you have to make situation around yourself, and you have to push yourself in that way, that where you actually have to forcefully talking in that language. I will be, I mean, a lot of time also I just got taunted by a lot of people. Okay, this word is not pronounced like this. You should pronounce it like this. So by taunting people in public, I just remember that word for my whole of, for life. I can't remember that word now. I know where I should use that word. So that is how you have to also have to go through from those experiences, those key lessons, where you can actually having that experience where you are making mistakes, and you have to create the surrounding. To summarize all these things, you have to first think that where you have to speak in English language, you have to create platforms, you have to make friends, and second is you have to constantly
Yourself.
listen that language.
Update yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you love reading books?
Yeah, I love reading books. Even I put a story today, the book that I'm currently learning. It is The Secret of Health, Love, and Money.
Okay.
The Secret.
So, Prathamesh, you actually shared a great insights about the freelancing content marketing. So, our audience would be love to share, see the podcast related to these skills, and they will be learning all these things from you, and they will be subscribing your channel, and they would be learning a lot of things from you. So, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Prathamesh,